welcome to Commander Pat Alesia, who is the commander of the Nassau County American Legion, and you were heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com. Pat, introduce us to your guest, or our guest.
Good evening, everyone. We have a special guest with us today, our junior Pass County Commander, Al Picalora. He has spent about 12 years in the American Legion. He's been a post commander for 3 years. And at the county level, he was the 1st Division Vice Commander for 2 years, the adjutant for a year. And then Al has the distinction of being the only Nassau County commander to serve 2 terms, primarily because of the pandemic. And I want everyone to know that it was an honor for me to serve and work with Al for those 2 years.
I thought they kept him a 2nd year so he can get it right.
I didn't know what I was doing.
No. You know what the philosophy is? We did such a great job, Malcolm, that they said do it again for another year.
Right.
Okay, so what I'd like to do, I'll start off by just asking you briefly to talk a little bit about your military experiences and what motivated you to join the American Legion.
Okay, I didn't join the Army joined me. I was drafted at, like a lot of everybody else, a lot of other guys, 18 and 19 years old. You know, I was in college, but I didn't have enough courses to matriculate or to get out of being drafted. I think you needed 18, I had 15. But I'll tell you what happened later on in life with that too. But I ended up getting drafted. We went from Fort Hamilton right to camp, doing in Jersey, camp.
That's Fort Dix.
Fort Dix, right, Fort Dix. Sorry, I should know that. And then all of us, it was like 4 plane loads of guys from the East, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. They flew us right down to where you're hearing a lot about it now, El Paso, Fort Bliss. So I had my basic training on Fort Bliss, and I was ready to go to AIT. I think it was Fort Ord, California, when they plucked some of us out and made us military police. So then I was trained as a military police specialist. I did more work on the adjutant or the provost marshal office, where I did a lot of fingerprinting. A lot of people, a lot of vets were coming back with Vietnamese brides. So to get them into the country, we had to fingerprint them and things like that.
What year was this?
1967, 66 and 67. I got out in 68.
And that was when the war was.
That was before the Tet Offensive. But I was going to Vietnam. But the thing was that because I had training as an MP, they had me picking up prisoners in Cameron Bay or somewhere around there, bringing them back. You know, so I didn't have any combat experience, but I was I was escorted a lot of prisoners back into the stockade in Fort Bliss. I spent a lot of time in Fort Bliss. I also, when I was getting a little, restless, I was in high school. I did every sport and everything. I was a nerd. I was more or less the big time athlete. I played football, I wrestled, and I ran track. So I was in excellent condition.
Al, what high school did you go to?
I went to Chaminade High School, and then I ended up, believe it or not, in Hempstead High, because the funds were like waning back then. And I can imagine anybody going to Chaminade now. It's very, very expensive. It's an all boys college, all boys high school in Mineola, run by Paris order.
You're Catholic, right?
Yes.
Catholic.
Catholic, of course, yeah. So. Then I was getting bored just, doing nothing because I wanted to do something active. So I tried to join the 101st Airborne. And for some reason, it wasn't physically, I was like top of my class, but they wanted me to stay as an MP because I guess I got grasped it more than a lot of other people. So I stood there, but then I still was like So I end up joining the post football team where we end up winning the Southwest Division. And we were supposed to go and tour Vietnam with the football team. And that never happened. That was going to happen, and then something else happened. So then I end up joining, I met some special forces guys, and I was talking to them, and they says, we jump, with special forces. But he says, we also have a club. So he says, we could get you in there, I said, I don't know. They says, yeah, we train you and everything. So I end up jumping with the special forces. And that was the thing. We used to pack our own parachutes, which was a big trip because I don't know if you ever saw them pack a parachute. It's on a long, long table with a fan on one end, and it would bellow out the chute itself very gently. And you're supposed to get all the lines in, one right into the other, and put them on an S shape on a rubber bands on a holder. And then you would cover that up with the ripcord and put a pilot chute which sprang open when you pull the ripcord.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So I was doing this, you know what I'm saying? I ain't jumping this parachute. But those guys, the special forces guys, were special. That's why they says, listen, troop, you got to have faith in what you do. So he says, let me have that chute. And I'm saying, oh, no. So he grabbed the chute, put it on, and he went up. So I'm saying, please, Lord, please let it open.
Yeah, and you say,
He jumped and it opened up. He came back. He said, you did an excellent job. So from then on, I had about another 5 or 10 jumps. But it was a thrill. If you never did it before, it's an experience. Just jumping out of the plane was nerve-wracking. But once that chute opened, you thought who you were. You're floating down like a feather.
The closest I got was a parachute jump in Coney Island.
Coney Island, yeah. But this was really nice. So once you did that, and then you were El Paso. So you're looking over the Sierra Madres, I think, looking into Mexico. And you're coming down with the chute, looking into that. And you had a beautiful view. It was nice. It was really exciting and everything. But then, like I said, my MOS was 95 B20, which meant military police. So, then I would have to go into El Paso and check the natives if they had any records, because a lot of times they would want to get them hired on base for doing jobs on base. So what would I do is go down to the records in El Paso Police Department, and I would pull out their names and check if they had any priors or anything like that in order for them to get the job on Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss was different. I was there for a while. So, it's not like it is today. Fort Bliss, and you went into Juarez, and that's a whole nother story. It'd be here for a couple hours.
But Al, did you ETS from the Army from Fort Bliss?
Yeah, I eventually ETS for Fort Bliss.
Okay.
That's an estimated term of service.
Right.
Civilians. But it was ETS was for Fort Bliss. But like I said, it was an experience. I learned a lot. I could have, and then matter of fact, when I got out, I applied for the Nassau County Police. But you got out, you got all my arms and legs, everything was working, and you want to just get out. Hey, I'm out now. I want to party. But they kept calling me down for the Nassau County Police. He said that you scored high on your aptitude test, and we want you. So I go and talk to the sergeant. I says, do I have to do a 4 to 12 and 12? He says, yeah, you were a rookie. I said, I don't think I want to be. He says, what? He said, there's a line to get in. So I ended up doing something even better where I made more money, actually. I worked for New York Tel, Bob Bell. Back then it was just New York Telephone. Then it went to 9X, then Bell Atlantic, and it ended up as Verizon. But, it was, I could have been a cop. So, I think I made a good choice.
Yeah. What did you do for them, for the Bills?
For
my Bell, yeah.
No. I was a repairman from day one. Like I said, I'd score high. I had a half a brain, I guess. And usually you'd have to start as a splices helper. Then you become a lineman, which was tough. You walk with the poles. They didn't have the augers now, the they had all the hand orders. I went there, then I went into installation, and then the top of the line was repair. But from day one, I was a repairman. And for 34 years, I worked for Marvell. So, and there, you had to go to school, everything that's coming out, different type of switchboards. And a lot of times, by the time you learned that, they were obsolete. When I got out, I was doing fiber optics and stuff like that.
Yeah, but by the way, if you come to California, Los Angeles, give me a call. I could use some help with my
Okay.
wiring.
And you want to talk about California because they wanted anybody from New York, they love go to Florida. So I passed, they wanted me to go to San Jose or Beverly Hills, and they would have paid the whole thing, paid for you moving there, paid for any expenses and everything. But I didn't know. You're a New York kid. I don't know if you could fit in California. But I had the opportunity. I could have went to San Jose or Beverly Hills. And we had some guys in my garage that did go and they loved it and they retired from California.
Yeah, because most of the time I find it's unfair to say, but I say 8 out of 10 people, that I call up or come servicing don't know what the hell they're doing.
No. Like I said, I went to every school possible. And, some of these old timers didn't want to do it. Now I'm just getting my paycheck, that's it. But the more you learn and the more you know that you're getting the easiest stuff, like you would be assigned not to a house, going house to house, you would be assigned to an office building. And from there, you don't even have to climb poles. You just press button 4, 5, 6, you go to whatever floor it is without having a problem. Then go down into the basement where all the equipment is, and you can work like that. But you had to learn all that stuff. There was a lot of new things and new inventions. When I come in, it was only rotary. I come in at 9, and they only had rotary. Then they had the Princess phone and the trim line, and then you had to rewire them and everything.
For those who don't know, what is rotary?
Rotary. A quick funny story. We bought the Little Tykes house for the kids, and then it was like you had windows and the doors, and they're for 4 or 5-year-olds, and they had a phone on the side of the thing. So I'm saying, okay, you can pick up the phone and call grandma. So she picked up the phone and she's pressing the numbers. I said, Kathy, my wife, what is she doing? She says she don't know rotary from touchstone. Instead of turning the knob,
Right.
1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
They were actually pressing the number of that circle on the dial.
Right.
That's rotary. Rotary is obsolete thing of the past. But everything was new inventions like trim line, and then they came out with the new turn of Merlin system. These were regular systems, that you can't get one of those phones and plug it into your regular jack. It won't work. These are phone systems.
But you had to learn that from scratch because you had no experience in the Army with that.
No, in the Army, I was, like I said, MP,
Military.
or jumping out of planes. That didn't work. So we went to school. It was almost like basic training. We went, and I'll tell you a funny story about that. We went to school in Jamaica. It's in Queens. If you're from Coney Island, you know what Jamaica is. And it was like a 6 to 7 week course. And they would weed you out. Like, you can't do this. We're going to put you in that department. You're afraid of heights. You got to go into the switch that's inside the central office. You're colorblind. Either they wouldn't take you or they would make you a lineman. Linemen didn't have to worry about colors. Well, anyway, we had to go to pole climbing school. This was December. So old timer, So everybody's looking at each other. We had to use hooks on your feet, on your legs. Do you know what that are? So in other words, to climb the pole, you had to actually cut in with your foot with the spike, like the lumberjacks.
Yeah.
So the guy says, "What are you waiting for?" I said, "The pole's ice, half of it's ice." He says, "Turn around, grab the part that's not ice, and stick your hooks into the ice part." I'm saying, "Oh God." So anyway, you went up about 4 or 5 feet. It worked. So then you belt in and you go up. But all of a sudden, some of these guys started, one went down, next guy went down. And I'm saying, in the old timers there, he says, God damn it, they're falling like flies. And what happened is I see these guys at lunchtime in the bathroom, and from their belly button to their chin, it was nothing but splinters and cuts.
Mm.
Because if you're going to cut out on them, your first feeling or response is grab the pole.
Yeah.
So you're grabbing the pole, but now you're not hooked in. So you're
That's
going
right.
down 30 feet. So those guys, evidently, of course, they didn't make, they weren't repair or installation or anything like that. But yeah, that's my career in it. And then I went to, like I said, when I told you, I was drafted out of college. So they had a plan when I had like 30 years in, and they wanted to make, they call it TTA, telecommunications technicians. So it was in Nassau College. It was a 2-year course, but it took us 4 years. And I would go like twice a week. And eventually I graduated. And that's how I learned fiber optics. I went back to school and got my degree after 38 years.
As they say in Italian, mazel tov.
Al, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
How long were you out of the Army before you were attracted to the American Legion?
Oh, let me see. It had to be like 25, 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
really? It was a while because I was 70. Yeah, it had to be that or even more because my friends, they were in it, but they never asked me anything about it. They knew I was military, they knew.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, now I live in Oceanside, but these guys all lived in Oceanside too, but they used to go to the Baldwin Post. And they said, come on down, you'll meet some friends, you'll make buddies and everything like that. I said, I don't know. He says, come on down just for one meeting. So I went down there and I liked what I seen. They had a nice bar downstairs. Everybody was friendly. Come on up, have a drink out with us and everything. So I says, okay. And my guy, the guy who got me on it, he was an Agent Orange person who, was affected by Agent Orange. So he talked me into, said, come on down and join. I'll sponsor you. You can join. So I joined, and then I go to 4 or 5 meetings, and I start making other friends at the post. And then it's all history after that, because I went right up the ladder. I started as a sergeant at arms. I went to a membership officer, and then after that, I went right to commander of that post in Baldwin. And then from there, these guys, they said, you did quick, you did good job, you did good as a commander. Would you like to join the county? I said, well, that's a big job, He says, no, you start out, you only have 15 posts. You'd be in charge of 15 posts, which is roughly about 1,500 guys, 1,600 guys.
Only 1,500 guys.
Right. That's all.
So then from there, that's Division 1. There's 3 divisions. And I was Division 1, South Shore, Oceanside, Rockville Center, Baldwin, East Rockaway, Malvern, like that. So I did it, and there you start making more friends. So then they even said, if you wanted to do it again, I said, sure, because you're really only supposed to do 1 year on each thing. You learn it and you go up. So I did it the second year, and I was about to do it a third year when they say, no, you're log jamming now. I said, what do you mean? You got to keep going up because people behind you want to get. So I said, okay. So my third year, I end up becoming an adjutant. I had a vote, and they voted me in as adjutant. So then after that, of course, I went to a commander, and that's where Pat came in. Now together, we did. You could ask anybody. We're not trying to slap ourselves on the back or toot our own whistle. But after 2 years, everything was pretty well. We did everything good, and everybody really enjoyed, what we did. We accomplished a lot,
But now,
a good commander because he went through all this already for 2 years, and we would like Cheech and Chong, Heckle and Jekyll. Abbott and Costello, I'm Costello.
Al, focus on the difference between the first year and the second year where everything stopped because of the virus.
Right.
Big difference.
The first year, they said, put the pedal to the metal,
The metal.
tire to the road. I had out of 365 days, I had close to 200 places where I went to a convention, a meeting, an induction, a funeral, a parade, and you had 52 posts, 4,500 guys. So that's a lot of posts. Come on down, to this event. Come on down to Law and Order. Come on down to our installation, and either supervise it or be a part of it. And of course, a lot of times they would ask me and Pat. So we both went down. So he learned a lot too. But then there was occasions where I went by myself. But like I said, I went to so many different places. And then come COVID, and it was like coming to a screeching halt. Then with COVID, but we weren't allowed to go to any meetings, events, and so many conventions. And like a state convention was the Department of New York, that was canceled. Oratoricals where we promote people to do speeches and stuff, that was canceled. Law and Order canceled. 4 chaplains, which is a very solemn event that we have, a memorial, that was canceled. So what we did then, me and Pat, we were on the computer all the time, doing emails and texting and even Facebooks. I had the Facebooks with people because you can't go and visit anybody. We still did, but we had to have masks. This is before the mandatory inoculations or vaccinations. So we would go to somebody's post. We would stand in the back or stand to the side, 6 foot, distance with our mask on. And we try to get some normalcy. But it was tough because you're wearing a mask and, then they can't hear you. And they can't tell you if you're laughing, crying, getting upset or whatever with a mask on,
Al, I have a new job for you.
Yeah.
Now, MalcolmPresents.com. You have to email this to all the people on your list each week to tell them who our guest is and to listen to the show.
Okay.
The way we get an audience is the social media or word of mouth.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, what you had mentioned, the way you got involved is what you have to also tell your people who are members now. Tell 1 or 2 other people about that. Get them to come in.
Right.
And all the members have to be recruiters. It's not only a few people, all of them have to be. And
I got a couple guys in, but my main peeve and a great number of American Legion officers, even my fellow district commanders and stuff. My thing was we used to get them down, and this happens. You could ask Pat, it happens all the time. We get some of these guys, they come down, we get their $42 to pay dues, they're in. Now, some of these guys just want it on their resume. I'm an American Legion member. They never come back. And that's what's killing us. The thing is, I would like to have a probation period. So we have what do we have? Like, you guys have 1 a month? We have 2 months.
We have 2 a month.
24. Of the 24, make 6 or 7 or 8. So then you would meet people and you would make friends. And then you say, like me, if I didn't know Richie and I just joined, I probably wouldn't have came down every meeting or something. But these people, they come, they put their 42 and they're still probably paying, but they're not part of the post. They're not part of the activities. What's going on with your finger on the pulse?
Yeah.
Like I said, why don't they do this? I don't know. But I always say, have them have a probation period. Let them come down and 6 times a year, and they'll make friends, and then they'll get their friends down. That's the only way we do it, because we have all our World War II guys. There's very few of them left.
Very few left.
You got guys that moved out of the state. When I did the membership of my post, I was mailing them to Florida, Arizona, Utah, and not just 1 or 2, a lot. And then you got these other guys that don't drive at night. So the thing is, you killed in the golden goose. If you don't have more influx of people who join and stay there, it's going to start dwindling, and you're going to lose all kinds of members.
Yeah, well, you guys have to recruit someone that's savvy to the social media, and you have to send out emails on a weekly basis. From the post, telling them what to do, urging them to come down, say, come on down, to Wednesday night, we have a poker playing. Come down Tuesday night, we have
we have like like Thursday, once a month, we have open like a dinner night. And we have like a roast beef, turkey, everything. And we invite people over for the whole fixings for $7. We have a karaoke night open to everybody. We have electronic sign in front of the thing.
You gotta email this out. People have complicated lives and
Yeah.
they
Listen
get
to me.
it. You have to
Al.
keep on pushing.
I mean, just passing the post, you can see, we have country and western night. We have barbecues in the summer. We have Halloween, which is coming up. That's another, and it's open to everybody. And that's how sometimes they see this and they do join. But we're not getting the amount of people that we want.
Yeah.
You know?
Again,
And here's another thing. The guy that we deal with, he actually works for the Veterans Administration. His name is Ralph Esposito. And what we told Ralph is say, give me a list of the guys who just recently, they give you your zip code of that zip code, who recently got out of the Army, Navy, Marines, whatever, or who were in the Army, Navy, Marines 20, 30 years ago, and they're still getting compensation. They're getting money from the VA, but they're not joined. So they sent us a letter, 50 names. We went through all 50 names. We got one guy.
Yeah, but as I said, it's constant hitting now. It's constant hitting, whether it's telephone calling or robocalling, but basically, especially the younger people, they're on their computer. You have to get their email addresses or the TikTok addresses or whatever, and have somebody there, one of your members that's computer savvy.
Yeah, we have a member like that.
Al,
Eric Spinner.
Al, talk a little
He's
bit.
very good with that. He goes across the board with all of that, right?
Yeah. Al, talk a little bit about the project of updating the emails in the posts throughout the county. How long that took us to try to get updated emails.
We had a couple of blizzards. I know you don't have them in LA, but we had a couple of blizzards, during the January and February. So I go out and shovel or blow snow, and I come in, and we have 3 divisions, 52 posts. And what was happening is that because all the county commanders were coming from the South Shore and the North Shore from Glen Cove, Port Washington, Sands Point, to come down is a big chore. So we never knew, because you'd sign in. We have a sign-in book at the county meetings. They would sign in their name, the post, and supposedly their email address, which was all well and good. But these guys on the North Shore never came down, so we didn't know if year after year they lost. A new commander came in, new adjutant came in, new membership officer came in. They were out of the loop completely. So what me and Pat did, we sat down, and I made sometimes 5 or 6 telephone calls to some of these guys to get one person that still was emailed and that we could count on and put him in the loop. Because we had like only one guy out of the South Shore, and we got him right away. 2 guys out of the middle, that's the Mid Island, and we got that. North Shore was like 8 or 9, right, Pat?
Yeah.
8 or 9 of all these years before us, because other county commanders never had them coming down. They were in the loop. They had no idea what was going on. So we updated the whole thing, and we ended up with one old timer post that said, we're not going to get on computers.
Right.
All 85 or 90, and they weren't good. So we mailed them. Snail mail. But all the other 51 posts, they were finally in the loop, and we start seeing results and stuff.
Yeah. Al, I never said it was easy.
No.
It's a constant thing. Like
it took us 2.5 days of really making phone calls to find out. Now you're saying one guy is savvy. We have this guy. He's our county chaplain. He's very savvy with this thing, with the emails and all this other. So we're going to try to talk to him. We'll see him tomorrow.
As Pat, let's have him on the show.
Oh yeah, I would get him. Yeah,
and talk to him. And
he fascinates you, really.
Al, you can join us on the show. We could have 4 people easily.
All right. Okay.
That's something we could try to do.
Yeah. But the thing is, we want to press the issue because it's so easy. It's so easy to start it and not continue it. It has to be an ongoing process.
Yeah.
which basically, you know, the podcasts are there. There are
Yeah.
millions of podcasts on the air.
Yeah.
You have to keep on pushing
No,
and getting.
no, we try, believe me, but the thing when I say my main peeve, they come once and you never see them again.
Well,
It's, but they're paying their 42, that's good, that's all well and good. But you can't grow by coming once, and then sometimes we never see them again. Maybe now and then we'll have a nice thing that they want to go to country western
Yeah.
or St. Patty's Day or Halloween, and you might see them then. But then we even talked to them, come on down, we miss you. Come on down. We redid the whole bar. We have a brand new bar now.
Well, again, I don't know what would interest them there, but what I'm thinking is maybe like family activities where they could come with their wives and kids.
Yeah, well,
And they could do like on a Saturday or Sunday.
Things just like the barbecue. We have barbecues, and here's another thing that we do. But I don't, we have the St. Albans, and we have a lot of PTSD soldiers there. We even invite them to our post. We give them a full dinner, everybody. They have they call it horse race games. And it's a video of an old horse race, and everybody get bets on them and they can win money like that. And then when they leave, we give them all kinds of, plus we have stand downs. Like we have a stand down coming up in November, and we invite everybody. You don't have to be American Legion or VFW. You could be, this is a really good plug to get it. We give them full turkey, all the fixings.
Well, let me know if you have alcohol. I'll be there.
No, we don't have alcohol.
Not really.
No wonder why you're not getting people coming back.
No. But they have 50 tables, and each table is set up for you're homeless. We do this. You need lawyer advice here. We have a barber. We have somebody to find a place for you.
But Al, remember, because of the virus, we weren't able to do that the last
So we did it.
a drive-through. Right.
That was like, they would come in with their cars, tell us your size and what. And we had pre-packaged bags. And then we would tell them, I size 10.5 boots. I got a 42 jacket. I need a hat. And I got underwear and shirts. We put them in the big bags and throw them in the car. Now, like I said, these guys not a lot, but there's many that don't belong to anything. And we tell them, if you would please, you would get more, out of it by joining the American Legion. Or
as a matter of fact, just a thought. I remember back in my days in New York, when I lived in Manhattan, there was a church that had this group. Actually, it was to meet singles. But what it was is when you went into the center of there was like about 10 different groups that you could join, and each group had a different topic of the evening.
Okay.
And before, then you would go to the group and you would converse, that topic, and then you were let out and they had coffee and cookies and cake. Yeah. But this gave you a reason to talk to other people. Like come over to Pat and say, "Oh, what did you discuss?" And so it created conversation. So even the shy people would go over and make it.
No, that's good.
And another thing, which I don't know whether you have, is sports leagues, which again, I'm sure the younger guys, including yourself, since you were an athlete, maybe you have teams that play each other.
Oh yeah, no, they have American Legion has a hardball team.
Yeah, or even something, a softball team, which older people could
softball
do.
Team too.
Yeah, softball team, a basketball team, a touch football team.
I get the Legion magazine, and they showed the two girls, 17, 18, with rifles. They're crack shots. They came in the United States, number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But and they're in military background. Their fathers and uncles and stuff. And you can get them into the
but anyway, guys, it's been a fascinating show, but alas, our half hour is up.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot more to say.
I know.
That's why I go on forever. When I go into meetings, they do this because I go on and on and on. I got a lot of stuff to say.
Yeah, Al is with you. We can start the show, and you can say hello, Al, and both of us will go off, and I'll say, okay. It's like Gracie. Okay.
Yeah. It's nice working with you, and like you said, we'll come back again with Eric. And
we'll try to do that. We'll try to.
But again, everything you have to repeat.
Yeah.
And you have to be relentless. That's right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's so many influence in the outside world that people forget.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you, Malcolm.
Nice talking. I'll see you again then.
Oh, yeah, this thing,
Tomorrow, Pat.
All right, I'll see you
We got
tomorrow,
two
Al.
things
yeah,
tomorrow.
by the way,
Get
just
together again.
tell your friends, this should be up by tomorrow morning,
Okay,
and you'll be
Okay,
on,
good.
and it's malcolmpresents.com. Go to
Okay.
Commander Pat Alesia, or I
okay.
call Pat Alesia,
Alicia.
Okay,
and,
All right.
yeah, tell your friends, tell your relatives, and
Okay.
we'll make this thing happen. Have a great
Okay.
weekend.
Sounds good.
guys.
Thank
And
you.
remember,
Thank you.
oh, by the way, I'm wearing the hat. LA
Yes.
I know,
Dodgers.
we
LA
know.
Dodgers.
We know, go
We
Dodgers.
know.
If it ain't the Mets, I'll still root for the Dodgers.
Well, I was a Met fan when they lost 104 games.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think in
That's when
1961.
they paid you to go to the
Right, right.
ballpark.
Casey Stengel, the then manager, to
Oh,
go to
yes.
the dugout and go to sleep.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
The good old days. Hey, the
We'll-
Mets
we'll-
ain't much better now, believe me.
And then I also remember 68, 69. You gotta believe.
You
Yeah.
got it. Tug
Franco,
McGraw.
them? Franco,
Bye.
Brooklyn boy. All right, I'll see you.
All right, have a good one, Al. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you, Malcolm.